Jesus knew that his path led to the cross. That doesn't mean it was easy. Listen, we know that Jesus knew that he was going to be betrayed. He knew who would betray him. He knew that he would be rejected by the leaders of Israel. He knew that he would be turned over to the Gentiles. He knew that he would be persecuted and put to death. He knew that he would be placed in a tomb and that on the third day he would rise from the dead. He knew all of this before it happened. In Luke 19, verses 31 through 33, Jesus said, "We're going up to Jerusalem, and everything that is written about the Son of Man by the prophets will be accomplished, for he will be delivered over to the Gentiles, and he will be mocked and shamefully treated and spit upon, and after flogging him, they will kill him, and on the third day he will rise." Jesus said that himself. He knew what was going to happen, and yet it was difficult for him because he understood the pain that he was to endure. He understood the suffering that lay before him. And we think of the physical suffering. We think of the crown of thorns that was pressed upon his head. We think of the 39 lashes that he would receive at the hands of the Roman soldiers. We think of the fact that they would strike him and pluck out his beard and spit in his face. We think of the suffering physically, emotionally, and mentally, but what we fail to recognize, so often what we fail to recognize is the suffering that fell upon him because of our sin. Because he took upon himself the sins of us all. And that in that moment, upon the cross, when he who knew no sin became sin for us, that we might be the righteousness of God in him, in that moment, for the first time in all eternity, fellowship between the Father and the Son was broken. Because the face of the Father had to turn away. It was in that moment that Jesus would cry from the cross, "Eloi, Eloi, lama sabachthani," my God, why have you forsaken me, right? And because of that, he was also able to cry out, "Tetelestai." What does that mean? It means it is finished. It means paid in full. The price for our sins was paid in full.